Hi, my name is Peter Davos, the founder and CEO of Hale Education, and I am the host of the Admission Possible podcast. We're joined today with Sara Al Quasi from GEMS Wellington Silicon Oasis, who will be enrolling in LSC in just about a month's time.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
How are you doing? Okay.
Yeah, quite good. How are you?
Good. Are your bags packed? Are you ready to go?
Not yet,
Not
but
yet.
I still got around like a month and a bit, so
Okay.
hopefully in that time I'll be packed.
Step by step.
Yeah.
You're going to need a new wardrobe in London, I think.
Oh yeah, hot clothes.
Yes.
Well, that's all I have right now. I need
Okay.
cold clothes. I'm using it as an excuse to take the card and
Good.
Go
Swipe
shopping.
away. Go swipe away.
yeah, exactly.
Are you now? What's interesting is actually let's start at the beginning. You applied to NYU Abu Dhabi here in the UAE. You applied to 3 Canadian universities:
Yes.
McGill, Toronto,
And British Columbia.
and UBC.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you applied to a few universities in the US.
Yes.
Penn,
Yale and Carnegie Mellon.
Carnegie Mellon,
Yes.
and then ultimately you applied to 5 universities in the UK as well.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what was going through your mind. I mean, how did you get through that entire process? You know, multiple countries, multiple deadlines, multiple requirements.
Yeah, so when I first joined Hale, I joined in the middle of year 11.
Okay.
So it was like December of year 11. And the plan was US, Canada, and NYU Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
That was the plan. There was never the UK. It was never. And it was like more of like we adopted the mindset of we're only going to apply to the Ivies in the US because other than that, for my family, it wasn't worth the whole
cost and the
travel
distance.
and the cost and everything.
Yeah.
When I first joined, I had like 6 of the Ivies on my list, pretty much all of them. And then we really like looked at the costs and looked at everything, and we just decided on Yale and Penn.
Yes.
I was actually going to apply to Harvard, however, because of the SAT and they didn't have a test optional option, I didn't end up applying. And then Canada, because I'm Canadian, so obviously cost of tuition was going to be much less, and the Canadian unis are very strong as well.
Yes.
So it was always going to be UBC, Toronto, and McGill as well.
And you got into all 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got scholarships from Toronto and UBC.
How much were they considerable, or were they just?
Yeah. So it was already, it was like $6,000, $7,000 to attend.
Yeah.
And then I got like for Toronto, I got for the first year $3,000 off.
It's amazing.
And then I'm pretty sure the same with UBC.
Incredible. So it would have been basically free to go there if you had you chosen to go.
Other than living costs, it would have been literally free. Yeah.
Amazing. But then I think you went to Penn on a summer program.
Yeah. So I did last summer, actually, a year ago today almost. I went to Penn for the Wharton Global Youth Program, and I did their Essentials of Finance. And it was really like my first university experience, quote unquote. Like I saw the university, I lived in the dorms, I saw how my day-to-day walks would be like, what kind of coffee shops I'd be going to, and the lectures, like all of our lecturers as well, like the professors, like were very much, they weren't Penn, but they were like from the uni right across the road.
Okay.
So it was very much like a real uni like experience, and it wasn't like you have to do this, you have to do this. It was more of like a really like showed how you in uni you're kind of on your own. Like,
yes.
So that was quite nice as well.
You have a lot of freedom, and I think some students take advantage of that in different ways, we could say.
Yeah, exactly. Like growing up and going to school in the British curriculum, it was very much like you have to do this, you have to do that. And we were just like in kind of like I don't want to say jail, but like it was more of like a
highly rigid
exactly.
Yes.
And we didn't really have much freedom of choice other than literally the subjects that we took. The deadlines were very much there, especially again with the IB, like the deadlines were there if you missed them, like and it kind of like you had your teacher's hand along the way. But with uni, like that program especially kind of showed me that the teachers are only there if you go up to them. Like they're not, if
you're an adult,
if you don't know them, they won't know you. Like,
but I think it's also contingent upon you to do the work.
Exactly.
Right? No one's going to call your parents and say this assignment was missed.
It's like if you don't go to a lecture, no one's going to, like, there's no like receptionist calling your mom being like she's not in school, like which I feel like I would love to experience because I do trust myself in the way that I will be attending, I will be going, and I will be proactive in getting to know my professors. But it really showed me then that like in the breaks and stuff, like you could tell like which students like were more laid back and didn't really want to participate as much, and then which students were more of like going up to the professor straight away and asking all their questions. So it really just showed me the kind of environment that I'd be in going into uni, and then showed me Penn itself. And honestly, I fell in love with Penn. Not so much the city, but the actual university. I did really love it, and I really enjoyed my experience there. And up till now, I still talk to a lot of the people that I met there, and we actually have a group chat. And like every time someone sees someone, we like get to talk and like catch up again. But because half of us now have applied to uni and like are going, and the other half are like now like rising seniors. So it's great to see everyone's different. Like none of us actually ended up getting in.
Really?
Yeah, none of us from my group. There are a couple from the program that I know got in.
Yes.
But none of my like, think of like 15 friends that I have. None of us got in.
Where are they going? The ones that are seniors or that just graduated?
I know one's committed to North Carolina Chapel Hill. One's committed to Boston University.
Okay.
I think one more in one of the UCs.
Okay.
I forget which one, but other than that, everyone's still going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So were there any kind of differences between the actual experience and what you anticipated student life to be like at Penn?
I definitely, like, other than the actual uni, like the environment outside of it, growing up in Dubai, like I'm not really used to like, I don't know, I'm not really used to America or like anywhere abroad. So like growing up and seeing like things on the road that I probably wouldn't see here was very different, and the safety aspects as well. Like I'm, as a girl, like I'm used to like being able to walk by myself and being like feeling secure in myself to be able to walk by myself, even in the day, in the night. Like in Dubai, it's completely normal. There, not so much. Like even in the daytime, I wasn't really confident or felt safe to walk all by myself. So I would always have 2 or 3 friends. Like one time we actually had to go on a CVS run, and it was like 8:30 in the night. And it was like there was no sun. And I remember like it was like me and another girl, and we put our hood up. And we were like on the phone. We were like sprinting, and CVS was literally like a 3-minute walk.
Oh my God.
Like here I would never even think to do that. So it's like really opened up my eyes and like the way I will be living. Like I really have to change some of the some of the norms I have in my day-to-day life, I guess, here. That'll be very different abroad. So I guess that was one of the aspects that drew me into NYU, Abu Dhabi, that it was so close to home. And again, Abu Dhabi is like, if not safer than Dubai.
Absolutely.
So like it was very much a deciding factor when it was like going abroad.
But did you, that also obviously that factored into your parents' concerns?
Yes, definitely.
Did that factor more into your own concerns after that summer program, where you were were you just more aware?
I was just more aware, definitely. Like at the end of the day, I didn't want something like safety or me being a woman abroad to affect where I study, because at the end of the day, I just wanted to get the best education that I could. But my parents definitely were very concerned about that specifically. And even if I ended up getting rejected from Penn, but even if I did get in, I think it would have been more of like my mum moves with me. My dad comes every month or so. Like it would have not been like, now that I'm going to LSE, I'm going like with my parents for 2 weeks and then they're leaving me. It would have not been anything like that. So that definitely did factor in for them. And I do think that if I applied to Penn regular decision and I ended up getting in and I had all my other options, I don't actually think I would have gone there in the end. Because of my parents' concern. But yeah, it just goes to show like I never really expected that going abroad. So it really is important to not only research the university, but research the city and even go see the city, because like you hear things about Philadelphia, but when you go there, it's like completely different. And same with London, like it might be different, it might not be, like you know. So it really is important for a student to really understand and like know the city they're going to before they actually
and I think it's also the neighborhood plays a big role. Right?
Definitely.
So Penn's not in a good neighborhood.
No, so Penn is like, it's in this place called University City. So University City itself is it's quite safe. I don't want to say very safe, but it is quite safe in the sense that, so Penn has 3 like different police patrolling the campus. So it has Penn police, and then there's a university right next to Penn called Drexel. So I guess they have a common like Penn Police goes on Drexel and Drexel Police comes onto Penn campus. And then there's like Philly Police as well. But when you see a place so heavily policed,
You have to ask why.
exactly.
You have to wonder.
Exactly. It's like I'll walk from my dorm to the lecture and it's like, what, 7-minute walk?
Yes.
And I'll see 3 policemen on scooters, one driving on the road. Like, it's like
helicopters in the sky, drones.
It's like, obviously that makes me feel more secure, but why is there that much to begin with?
Correct.
Like, that's what drove my mum a bit.
Yeah.
Because my mum literally, when I tell you, she was with me the entire time. She stayed in, I forgot what it was called, the hotel. When I tell you it was a 3-minute walk from my dorm, it was the like University City hotel. I think it was a Marriott, one of them. But like she was like every day in the morning. Like it was like, okay, mom, I made it to the lecture. I made it. Like it was very, like it was.
Clearly she was stressed out about it. And
Very stressed. Even my dad all the way from Dubai, he was like.
Still checking in on you constantly.
Exactly. So it was like, at the end of the day, did I want to live a life like that for 4 years? Like, and it was like, my parents were literally like, if you want to go there for your master's when you're 21, like, because I am still young, I am still 17. So it was like, if you want to go there for your master's when you're 21, that's like completely fine. Like you'll be mature, you'll be much older. Like, again, my dad wasn't very like with like the fact of me going abroad and living alone. He still thinks, he still thinks I'm like, he sees me as like living in a dome. And like, but it is true. Like he sees me like, I've grown up in Dubai, like in his words, like I haven't gotten enough punches in my life to be able to survive. Like, and I kept telling him like, I need to get these punches.
Correct.
Like I need to go abroad. And he was like, you're just not ready. Like you're not mature enough to get these punches. Like, I guess we'll have to see.
You'll be just fine, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
Because I mean, it all works out in the end. So like looking back at your journey, right? You clearly ended up at the right place.
Yes, I do believe so. It was a long journey, and there was points where I was just like it was just like going down and down
because
and down.
Because just of the amount of work, right?
And the amount of work, and like I got my pen rejection and my SAT score on the same day, and it was like, honestly, I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. Like I was just like, it was just like the all-time low. Like, especially with the SAT, like the SAT was a journey in itself. I took it 4 times. The first time I took it was in year 11. And the last time I took it was in November of senior year.
Wow.
And I needed it to apply to Harvard and Yale.
Yes.
And I remember I was just like, I just want a 1500. Like I just want to break. And it was like, I kept getting 14, 10. The last one I got a 1450, but it was like still not enough. Like, I think the Harvard admissions officers would laugh at me if they saw the number. So it was like,
I don't know if that's true, but the average SAT score is about 1540.
It was just like at this point, like I'm paying $75, and Harvard, obviously as a little girl, Harvard's everyone's dream.
Yes.
Like it's more the name.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, I go to Harvard, I got into Harvard. But it was like, I was just like, there's no point of like even thinking about like in my opinion, I was like, I'm just going to be like, so like, oh my God, let's see if I get in.
And that's going to detract from your efforts to apply to other places, right?
So once I realized like the US like might not actually be the place for me, that's when I obviously going to a British school, most of my friends apply to the UK. So it was more of like, oh, you're not applying to the UK? I was like, I didn't even come across, when I tell you, I literally told we was at dinner. I was like the most random dinner. I was like, how come we never thought about, because for them, the drawbacks of the US was the time difference.
Yes.
I only applied to East Coast.
Yeah.
So the West Coast wasn't even like the 12-hour time difference wasn't even an option. Like 8-hour time difference, the flights are like 14 hours.
Yes.
Like the UK, you've got a 3-hour, 4-hour in the winter. The flights are 8 hours.
Correct.
Like it's much more realistic than the US.
Yeah.
Like I've got family in London.
Yes.
Like it was more of like why didn't we never?
And 3 years of undergraduate study as opposed to 4.
Instead of 4.
Yeah.
Like, and I've already skipped a year. So when I was in year 3, we moved to Canada for 3 years. When I came back, I was meant to rejoin halfway through year 6, but they made me take this diagnostic, and it was like, because I scored like a certain score, they put me in year 7. So all my mates were in the year above me, and it was like, I was already younger, so I am 17 going into uni, and it's like, I'm gonna skip another, like, if you think about it, I'm gonna have 2 years of like ahead on my career.
Yes.
So it like that was also a big deciding factor. But I think like once I said it to my dad, he was like, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
And then that's when I talked to Akasha and he connected me with Sam.
Yes.
And I talked to Sam, and then after like I think like 3 weeks of deciding where I was gonna apply, we decided on the 5.
What were the 5? Because I think the top 2 or 3 are easy,
Yeah.
but then the last 2 sometimes are difficult.
So at first it was all gonna be London.
Yes.
And then we kind of realized like that's probably not the best way to go. Cambridge and Oxford, of course, are up there, but when I decided, it was around mid-September. So it was already getting very close to the Cambridge and Oxford deadlines.
And you'd have to take the TSA as well.
Exactly.
Right.
And I honestly, after that SAT, I was like, I can't
No more
take
standardized tests.
any exams anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I can't. So that was already them gone.
Yeah.
And then Imperial,
Kings? Did you do Kings as well?
I did apply to Kings in the end, but Imperial, I ended up dropping because their grade, like their conditional offer was way too high. It was like a 7. It was like a 38 or a 39 with a 7 in maths, which I do because I did higher level analysis and approaches.
Yes.
Just like insane maths.
That's the hardest choice that you could make.
So I was not, I knew myself. I knew in the end I would not get a 7. So although I was predicted a 7, I knew in the end I wasn't going to get one. So I was like, there's no point, because and then what if I firm it and then I don't end up getting it?
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like
the worst.
long. Yeah, exactly. So I ended up choosing LSE, King's, and that was all for London. And then I applied to Bath and Warwick, and then Manchester as well. It's funny because I literally got my Manchester acceptance like 12 hours after I applied. And a lot of people,
like, okay, that's a good sign.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like Manchester are very quick with their offers, but I ended up firming LSE, and then I got into all of them, thankfully, and I ended up firming LSE and then ensuring Warwick, because Warwick was the only one that gave me a 5 in maths conditional,
right? Which
which is, at the end of the day, I was almost confident that I was going to get the 38, but it was like the maths was really like, because I'm in my mocks, I got 4. So it was like...
How did you get 4 in your mocks though? And you were predicted a 7.
So honestly, in my year 11 mocks, no, not year 11, my year 13 mocks, I slacked. I did not revise. Like, I want to say I revised maybe like 3 days before them. So
and it kind of showed in the score.
Showed.
Yeah.
Very much. I think I got like a 37 overall.
Okay.
But at that, like, as well, like in my year 12 mocks, I got a 42.
That's pretty impressive.
Overall, yeah, including TOK and EE. And it was like, okay, I like revised for like 3 weeks for those ones. So I was like, with my year 11 ones, I was like, let me see how I do, because it was like, now that all the unis I've applied to, like, this is probably not the best thing, maybe don't take my advice, but like I was like, let me just relax a bit, because and then the real ones were starting literally in April.
Correct.
Because IB is so much like quicker than A levels. So I was like, okay. I ended up getting a 37, which obviously is nowhere near, especially with my 4 in math. So that really like opened up my eyes.
It's a wake up
like,
call, right?
Yeah, it was very much a wake up call that I needed to kind of like lock in. But as well, up till then, I was in like the NYU Abu Dhabi mindset.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't really need to do that well in the end,
because they don't have a
unconditional offer.
Exactly, they're not going to give you.
So it was only until like I got my LSE in like March.
Okay.
And beginning of March, and I was like,
time to study.
I looked at the offer and I was like, whoa, like I was like, if I get a 4 in maths, it's okay, like, because NYU Abu Dhabi does this candidate weekend, which in my opinion is the best thing a uni can offer. Yeah, because before then I was actually I did not want to stay here at all. Like, what I wanted from my uni experience was definitely like an abroad experience. So when I did get the NYU Abu Dhabi call, I was very bummed, which is actually, I know is actually insane to say, but because my parents were very much, we want you to stay, we want you to stay. When I got that call, I was like, I'm staying. Like, oh, fine.
I'm stuck.
At least I'm getting a car. Like, you know, it was like that. Like, I was like, oh, I really wanted to go abroad. Like, I was actually quite upset. When I went to the campus, I'm a very stubborn person. So the first day I was like, But then the second day when we really did the campus tour and I really saw everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I love netball. So when I saw like their netball, like
The facilities are
courts,
amazing there. Yeah.
the facilities
Insane.
are insane.
Yeah.
Like the NYU campus, look, from outside, you don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
When you go inside, it's insane. When I saw all their sports facilities, not even that, just like normal like lecture rooms, like they did like I forgot the name, but there's something like in Canada weekend where you pick a lecture that you want to attend, and it's like a university lecture like that you sit in for an hour. And honestly, like that, the second day completely changed my view of the university. And then once I got to speak to more professors and more coaches, and I really liked it. Like I really love the university. So I was like, okay, like I was like, I'm happy, like maybe this is the university for me. So and then like once I adopted that mindset, and it's like a lot of people around me as well, like I have a couple friends actually that did do Hale as well. One got into BU. They're actually both going to BU, funnily enough, but the first one got into BU on ED1.
Okay.
And then the second one got in regular decision. So when I saw them kind of not adopting a relaxing lifestyle, but definitely much more relaxed than the conditional offer students, I was like, okay, maybe this is nice. Like I don't have to be as stressed. Like I just want to do my best. But if I don't get as well as I wanted to, because NYU is like you just have to maintain.
Exactly.
So it's like as long as it's above a 36 or above, I'll be fine. But and then once LSE came, I was like,
pressure's on now.
I was like, my mom was like, when are you going to start revising? I was like,
did she just slide the textbooks over to you very slowly?
I was like, maybe tomorrow morning.
I
actually ended up downloading this app called Flora.
Okay.
And it was like, your revision trees, and like for every hour. And I remember my dad was like, you can't go out this weekend unless you get 7 trees, which is like 7 hours of revision. So I'd literally wake up Friday morning, and I would wake up at like 6:30 and I'd be done at like 4. And I'd be like, look, all my revision is done. Can I go out now?
Please. Can I have the key to the door?
And then I guess that's how I did it. And it just depends as well. Like a lot of my friends also ended up going to the Netherlands, and they're also unconditional. So it was, the IB exam period was definitely different for everyone.
Yes.
You would see like the 13 minutes before the exam, everyone would be huddled up, and you'd see the more relaxed, like it's okay, like I'll do my best. And then you'd see the people that are like looking at the textbooks,
you know
trying
who's
to
going
just
where.
like
You know who's going to the UK.
Exactly. But
interesting. So one thing I want to ask you about is you applied to several countries, right?
Yes.
Did you apply to the same course at each specific university, or was there any strategy?
So I actually, like, the route for me was always finance. Ever since I was 10, I knew like I like loved numbers more than I did essay writing. So I knew it was always going to be finance. However, not all unis do offer finance. Correct. So that's what was for me about Penn, what drew me in the most. It was like finance, like, and it was like Penn is like
Wharton is number one.
3. Exactly. Yes. Wharton is literally number 1. So I was like, I wanted to go there because of their pure finance. In Canada, they didn't really have pure finance. So I ended up applying to entrepreneurship or business. And then with NYU is the only one I applied to for economics.
Yes.
Other than Carnegie Mellon, actually. Carnegie Mellon, I did apply economics as well. But NYU, I applied to economics because their business course, it's like business organizations and societies. Yes. So I couldn't really manipulate it with my electives to be a more finance focused course. However, their economics one, they do have like a official finance track. Yes. So there was a lot more electives that I could have taken that I would have enjoyed more. So I did end up applying to economics. So basically my choosing my courses for each uni was literally how much finance can I extract from this course, because it's a shame that not all unis offer finance. Correct.
Especially in the US.
It's more of like an economics or you take business. Yes. But what I did like about the UK is like basically every uni offered at least accounting and finance.
Yes.
Like
which is what you got into.
Exactly.
For
for LSE. LSE does offer a finance, like pure finance. Yes. But the conditionals again, like a 7 in math. So I was like, let's just be realistic. So I did end up applying to accounting and finance.
And what's interesting about LSE specifically is they have so many variations.
Exactly, because they are literally just economics and political science. Yes. You see it's like economics with this, economics with that, political science with this. Yes. Like
political economy, economic history.
It's like every single version of economics that you could possibly imagine in one university, which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
As well. And as well with LSE, like with the American university curriculum, it is very broad.
Yes.
With LSE, not really that broad. It's more narrow, but there are options to choose electives. So in my first year, I'm pretty sure I'm taking an AI course.
Very cool.
Yeah. Because they've got this like LSE core. And then obviously at the end of the day, I chose LSE because it was more finance focused.
Yes.
So that's really what went into my decision. Yeah.
Amazing. So one thing that when I was there, which I did my junior year abroad at LSE, which was kind of very different from my US experience, was that 100% of your grade was determined by your final exam score.
It's not anymore.
It's not anymore.
So there are a lot of courses, like when you go through, there are a lot of courses that are like 80% final exam, 20% like coursework or quiz, but that which is more because of, what did you do at LSE?
International relations.
So that is completely different now. With international relations and politics, most of them are 50% exam, 50% coursework.
Interesting.
A lot of them, because I have like a really good friend actually who, like I met her through the LSE account, like LSE Freshers page, and she's going into politics. And a lot of hers are like 30% final exam, 70%. But because I guess like for finance, most of mine are like 80% final exam, 90% final exam.
It's a lot of pressure then.
But with a lot of my electives, it is like for example, the AI course I just mentioned, it is 50% final exam, 50% coursework.
Good.
So it's nice to see the balance.
Yes.
Especially because I am very used to just like 100% final exam.
Yeah.
With GCSEs, and then with the IB, it was like 80%, 70% final exam, and then 30% IAs. So it's nice to see that there is a bit of a balance. But one thing about me is essay writing is not for me.
Stay away from. You don't have to do too many of those.
Yeah, exactly. I did end up getting a 40 in the end, 40 points in the end of the IB. However, I got a C in my BE, which just shows like essay writing is just definitely not for me. But it is a bit weird because I was predicted an A, and then turns out a lot of them came back as C's. You know how unpredictable the IB is.
Yes.
So it was definitely like, for our EE coordinator, it was definitely like an eye opener. Like I did a world studies essay, and usually they score very high. All of them came back as C's this year.
That's crazy.
So it was just like...
And that's the other... It's kind of like the stock market, like past performance is no indicator of what happens in the future.
Exactly. So. It was just like weird. Like But I mean, at the end of the day, it all worked out. So
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Your course worked out. Your university worked out.
Yeah.
Everything seemed to work out.
Thankfully.
What else factored into your decision to go to LSE? It has a big name. It's closer. It's cheaper.
Yes.
It's shorter.
And then,
what were some of the other factors that kind of...
Yeah. When I did get into LSE, obviously it was literally like, do I go to LSE or do I go to NYU? So it was very much, it got down to the nitty gritty, like which university would be best for me and my family. And the cost of attendance is... There is an insane difference.
Huge gap.
American universities are extremely expensive. $85,000, $90,000 a year.
Yes.
In like overall, like including tuition and living and everything. Whereas LSE for me, right now it's looking at £45,000 a year. If you take in exchange rates, it's like $60,000 a year around. And which is a huge difference, especially considering the fact it's one less year to pay.
Correct.
And that £60,000 includes living, airplanes, my budget.
The total cost of attendance. Yeah. Are you going to need to increase that a little bit? Yeah.
I was literally talking to my dad about it the other day. I was like, if I've lived no budget my entire life, I actually maxed out my dad's credit card.
Oh my goodness. Congrats.
And I think that's that. And when my dad saw that, he was like, how on earth did you manage to do that?
Well done.
And it was like, now my dad was like, no, like we need to ground you.
And it's not just about finances, right?
Yeah.
There's other kind of aspects to independent living, like even you're going to walk to campus, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. Walking to campus, there are train stations. Like I've never taken a train
That's
before.
what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Like it's a completely like new experience. Like I've never even like the only place I've been to in, I don't know if you consider the UK Europe, but the only place I've been to in Europe
they don't consider it Europe.
Yeah.
It's the
so
Brexit.
like, well, in that geographical region, I guess, is Madrid. I went there with the school for literally like a week. So even then I was still like in my bubble almost because I was with my school and everything, but it's like a completely different, I guess, like way of living, which I really did want to experience. So it definitely did go into my like mindset and where I wanted to go,
Yes.
but how I relayed that to my parents, like my parents are quite conservative. So how I related that to my parents was definitely like financials, like I've got family there. Like I really wanted to just make them a bit more comfortable with the idea. I didn't really want to, I think they realized once I got into NYU that I really wanted to go abroad.
Interesting.
And I think they took that in a way of like, I guess like I've always been like under their rules. Like I've always had a curfew. Like I've never stayed out late. Like I've never really like socialized like in a way that teenagers do these days. So like for me, like honestly for me, that I wanted to go because I wanted to get out of their nest and to do the things that I've been wanting to do for the past 2 years. And I like when they realized that, they were like, whoa, like that's when my dad pulled out that you're not ready. Like my dad took it as a way of like almost like I'm like not mature enough. Like it's kind of immature for me to just like, in how he thought of it was like, I will go anywhere but stay here. Like I will go to like a mid-tier, low-tier uni abroad.
You just wanted to get out.
Like I just wanted to get out, which wasn't true. Like obviously I did want to go out, but I knew like as much as emotions did cloud my judgment for a bit, NYU Abu Dhabi is an insane university.
Yes, it is.
Like it's up there, like top 10 in the world, in my opinion. So it's like, I'm not stupid enough. Like I'm not immature enough to pick a university that would have been like lower in.
Correct.
Like not
Chico State or something. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like just to go abroad. And then I think once LSE came, my dad realized that like my mindset was never like to go abroad and just get away from them.
Exactly.
It was like, in my opinion, the opportunities abroad were much wider. And like, obviously, like it would make a bit more sense for me to stay here and go to NYU Abu Dhabi in the sense that I do want to come back and work here. So connections wise, like, you know how finance, economics, and the business world works, it's connections or nothing. So connections wise, it would make sense for me to stay here. But as well, like you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Correct.
Maybe JP Morgan offers me a place once I graduate and I want to end up staying there. Like I just never know. So I think like at the end of the day, once my dad realized that I can still make my connections there.
Correct.
And I can like once I kind of like really helped me the PowerPoint, because it wasn't like
wait, there's a PowerPoint?
Yes, there was a PowerPoint.
What kind of PowerPoint?
So, because I also really wanted to decide, because I still like, there was also a time where I was like, I'm gonna pick NYU over LSE.
Interesting.
But once I made this PowerPoint and it literally went through everything, pros and cons, going, obviously I had a different list to what I showed my parents.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but the pros and cons
there was
of
like
me,
the edited version.
The Sara version. But there was like finance, place, living.
Yeah.
Like total expenses, experiences, connections. Literally getting down to literally the nitty gritty of this is the uni. What are the cons?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be living here. I'm going to like flights, like whatever. What are the cons of NYU? Like the price, like whatever. And it literally got down to, and it took us like 2 weeks to decide.
Wow.
And then when we picked LSE, it was more of like okay, let's just do everything there and then withdraw from NYU. And like once I withdrew from NYU, it got real. I definitely...
Were you worried about meeting the conditional offer? Was that what you meant by getting real? Or you had just made a commitment and you knew where you're going to go? Yeah.
I did wait to get my IB results. So it was like if I didn't make it to LSE, I would have gone to NYU. Because my dad did prefer NYU over Warwick. Which fair enough. Like as much as Warwick is an amazing university, NYU is higher up there in the universal in the world ranking. So that makes sense. That made sense to me. But it was once I got my grades, I was like, okay, LSE. Then I like submitted my withdrawal form and told them about my financial situation. So it was, I was worried. I was very worried.
Would you have done anything differently or no? You looking back, is there any learning? No, you did what you could.
I did the best I could. Like literally the day after I got my offer, I started revising.
Yes.
So it was like, I did everything I could. Although there are some subjects, for example, economics, I got a 6 when I was like always predicted a 7. I always got 7s and it was just a bit... At the end of the day, like the number I get now is just to get into uni. I don't believe anyone after university will be asking me, what did you get in your economics
or
IB?
your SAT, or where did you get into school? Exactly.
So it's like just a number to get me into university, and I really had to remember that. And I remember maths was just horrible.
Yeah.
Paper 1 and paper 2, like I was like, I'm going to NYU. Like I'm not. Paper 3 was like, when I opened the paper, it was like one of the questions were literally like, oh, there's a bag of balls.
Okay.
6 balls, 4 yellow, 2 red.
It sounds good. I like this one.
It was like, I was like, this is like pre GCSE.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Did
so
they put
thankful.
the nursery school questions in there by accident?
I was like, the paper 3 was a blessing, but
Yeah.
paper 2 and paper 1 were so bad. I was like, let's see if it balances. And thankfully it did end up balancing. So.
But, you know, I've never had a student do a PowerPoint, but you know what I recommend for students, like when they're in this position, 2 or 3 schools, try to quantify, right? I put together a spreadsheet, 0 and 1, location, right? Student life,
We
culture.
did, I think there was a Hale, like there was, like in like year 12, there was like a spreadsheet where we had to do all the research.
Yeah.
But I think because my dad, again, like, I don't want to say he made the decision for me, but like he went to Akash and he was like, these are the universities we're applying to.
Yes.
So I didn't really go through the research portion
Yes.
and the choosing portion. Like when we went in year 11, my dad was like, this is the 12, this is the list.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Just help her.
But that shows you though, but ultimately you ended up applying to the UK with your parents' support.
Yeah, exactly.
Which wasn't part of the original plan.
So at the end of the day, even if it does like the SAT and like the rejections and everything, like all the lows, like it works out in the end.
Yeah.
Like university.
But do you think you're a better person now, having gone through that rejection? So we talked about punches and not having taken any punches.
So in my, like, this is like the most like, I guess like snobbish comment, but I've never been rejected like from anything. So my first rejection was Penn. So I was like, it was very much like, oh, like I just can't, it's not a yes to everything. Like even like in school, like I've always gotten everything I've wanted. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like when I got rejected from Penn, I was just like, maybe it's not always a yes for me. Like,
right. But that's life.
You know? Yeah. So when like my dad always told me like, it'll work out in the end. But I was like, he was like, that place wasn't meant for you. But at the time I was just like, oh,
I know. It doesn't feel like that.
Like I was just like, stop. Like this was like, it was like my dream. Like, what do you mean it wasn't meant for me? Like I've never had that feeling before. So it was definitely like, I was glad I experienced it because it's very good to experience rejection.
Yeah, especially earlier.
Exactly.
You know, the kids that I sometimes worry about are the ones that got an ED1 to their top choice.
Yeah.
And take it for granted that the rest of the journey is going to be in life is going to be the same.
Like at the end of the day, I am thankful I got rejected. Like now, if I said this 1 year ago to me, she'd be like,
you wouldn't believe it.
What the hell did you just say? But I am very thankful I got rejected because it really changed my mindset. And now that I'm going to LSE, it really put me on the path that
you never would have applied otherwise. You never would have known.
I would have never even thought about it.
Yes.
So I'm quite happy with now at the end, like looking back.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with how it ended up working out.
No, I had a student many years ago that was he applied to Wharton early.
Yeah.
Superstar kid, like absolutely amazing on every level. He was deferred. Okay. End of the world. Oh my God. Why didn't you accept me? And I'm like, look, a deferral is not a rejection. You know, take it easy, relax, deep breaths.
Yeah.
But ultimately he ended up applying to a bunch of places, regular decision, including Stanford. And he got into Stanford and he never would have known. And of course, well, he chose Stanford over Penn.
Yeah.
Right. He never would have known.
Yeah.
Right. So everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that.
I am the most thankful that it was a straight rejection and not a deferral because I don't know, I would have eaten myself alive. Like, especially with Penn, they're
waiting another 5 months.
They're so evil with the sense that like, they are so evil with the sense that like, they never told you when their ED decision was going to come out. It was like all the IV decisions were coming out
on the same day.
The same day. So I assumed that it was going to be the same day. I took a sleeping pill to fall asleep.
Oh my goodness.
I was like driving myself insane. And I remember the day after, like the morning of, because it comes out 4 a.m. Dubai time. That morning was senior sunrise.
What is senior sunrise?
It's like basically like at the beginning, or it was like December time. But it was like your whole senior year goes to the beach, watches the sunrise,
cool.
like, and then at the end of senior year you've got senior sunset. So you're watching like it's like
cool.
a 360 moment. But I remember, and I woke up, and I was like, the first thing I did, like when I wake up, I need like 15 minutes of just like laying there. The second I open my eyes, I open my email, and it's like, your decision comes out in a week, and I was like,
oh my God, torment. Yes.
Exactly. It was, and I was like, the entire week, I was like, oh my God, pen comes out in 6 days, pen comes out in 5 days. And I remember senior sunrise, some people didn't end up coming because they got rejected from their EDs and they were so upset. Like, I had my one friend, she actually did Hale. She applied to NYU ED and she got rejected, like NYU New York, and she got rejected. And she was so, like, it was like her dream university, like since she was 12.
Yeah.
And I remember when I didn't see her there, I was like, you know,
you knew
it was
why.
so bumming.
I
knew why. But I guess I am thankful that Penn came out a week later.
Yeah.
So at least I enjoyed the senior sunrise. Because no, I definitely would have gone if I got rejected. Well, I did get rejected. I definitely would have gone, but it would have been like, I would have been like, what am I doing here? Like,
do you think there's more pressure? Because now, like with social media, when I, back in the day, we used to get our admissions decisions mailed to us. Yeah. So we knew if it was a small envelope
or a big envelope,
envelope, then you got in. So we would just run to, the
post office.
Exactly. Right. But now you have kids videotaping them opening.
Honestly, I think it's worse.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Yeah. So I have a lot of friends because of the Global Youth Program. I had a lot of friends, well, not friends, but colleagues. Yeah. Associates, you could say, people that I knew that were applying and I had on social media. Yeah. And I remember I got rejected. I didn't even open Instagram. I got rejected. Yeah. I spent like 2 hours in my bed crying. My mom took me out to breakfast. Okay. At breakfast, when you're with your parents, sometimes conversation runs out. So what do? You open up Instagram. First story I see, Penn class of 2029, and she posts her video, and I literally in the middle of the cafe start crying again. So it's like,
it's terrible.
It like kind of rubs it in your face, social media, and then like you see like random people on TikTok, for example, that you don't know, and they've got in, and it's like, what did they do that I didn't? Right. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like, what did they do to deserve it, and I didn't do to deserve it. So it was like a solid 3 days of like until like the IV acceptances just kind of died down. To sleep a bit. Like it was like 3 days of me scrolling and me seeing, Harvard, Wharton, like it was like all the universities that I would love to go to.
But they don't show you the videos of the disappointment and the heartbreak, right? Exactly. Where are those videos?
Those videos come out when regular decision comes out, and after those videos come out after people have firmed, or like not firmed, like committed to their university. They'll be like, this was the journey. Yeah. And they'll show you all their rejections. But when you're still in the journey,
it's tough.
It's so tough.
Yeah. But I'm so glad it worked out for you. I'm so proud of you. You seem thrilled. You're going to one of the most, for me, when I was at LSE, the memory I have of the students there, right? They were not just incredibly academically gifted, but they were movers and shakers. They were personable. They were, globally minded. They were diverse. They had lots of different interests.
Yeah, LSE definitely has the robot LinkedIn warrior stereotype. Like it definitely, like when I got in and I was talking to people, they were like, oh, like the social life isn't all there. But I do think that's a stereotype.
No, that is not true.
Especially when I got, like when I joined like the WhatsApp group chats and the Instagrams and like it really, like there are a lot of people. There are people that keep to themselves, but at every top university is like that.
Correct.
Like every top university, like there are going to be people that are just focused on what they want and they don't want anyone else to be friends with. Like there's always going to be like that. For me personally, social life is like an insanely important aspect in my life. I don't think I would have made it to LSE if I didn't have my social life, because not only making connections, I need a work-life balance. Yes. It is so important to me. Like every Friday I'm out with my friends. Like that is just like, it's something for me that's untouchable. And the only Fridays I didn't go out on, like 2 weeks before exams and during exams, that's when I was like more focused. But it's important for me to just go out and just not think about revision for 7-8 hours and then come home and then start revising.
That makes you a more productive student and more effective.
And I did see like some of the students in my school, like there were so many, like there were a couple students that were predicted 44, 45, and it's like they didn't even end up getting 39. And it's like I felt so insanely bad because those were the students that were revising, like IB exams were tomorrow since September. And it's like, when you think about it, they deserve it more than anyone.
But they don't.
They don't, because they burned themselves out. And it's so important to not. Like, I remember it was like February. And one of the girls actually that I'm speaking of, she was like, you've still not started revising.
Yeah, she couldn't believe it.
She was like, Sara, like exams start in 2 months. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, get your stuff together.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I remember being like, it's February.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you on about? Like,
Yeah.
obviously in February time, a lot of the teachers are giving like weekly like exams. Those I took lightly as well, because again, I was in like the unconditional mindset. So I was like, oh, 60% is okay. Next one. And she was like always getting 100, 190, 90. And it was like at the end, I was so shocked that I didn't even see her on results day.
Yeah.
Like our school did a little like 39 and above post.
Right.
And I didn't even see her there. And I was like, I was so disappointed like for her. Like I know how badly she wanted it, but I just wish that like if anyone takes this as a lesson, like to prioritize yourself as well.
100%.
Because if you do only prioritize like revision and work and internships and if that's all you think about, like you will turn into a robot.
Correct.
And there will be a time where it's just like crash.
Exactly. And I think it's a very different skill set to score very highly on exams than to win at life.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. Like to win at life, I feel like you need a huge support group around you. Maybe not huge, but you need a solid one. Like one or two people that you can rely on, you can go to call at any moment, at any time of the day, and they'll be there for you. Like for some people, that's their parents, and that's okay. For me, it wasn't. For me, I had two really, really good friends at school. But I think it's very important to not forget, if you like sport, go play sport.
Correct.
If you like to read,
Yeah.
go read. Like it depends genuinely on everyone. Maybe not everyone is as social as me, and that's all right. But if you need to, like, if you're a movie geek, go watch a couple movies. Like, like everyone's different, but everyone needs to have that balance. And I'm like, if that's the one skill I've learned through this entire, like one life skill is like literally to find the perfect balance is difficult.
Correct.
But once you do, it works out in the end, definitely.
That was actually inscribed at Delphi on the wall: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit.
Exactly.
So
And it's like
still true today, many thousands of years later.
Exactly. And it's like when someone tells you that, you're like, oh yeah. Like you like kind of brush it off. But like once I realized the importance like of actually like having a really good work-life balance, like one of my really good friends, sometimes I feel like her day was 30 hours instead of 24 hours because of the amount she was doing. Like athletics, then violin, then revision. Like the amount she was fitting into her day, you'd think she's like superwoman. Yeah. She ended up getting 42 in the end. And honestly, she's going to Brown.
Good for her.
And exactly. And I'm like really good friends with her. I'm really happy for her. If anyone deserves it, it's her. Yeah. Because of she maintained her integrity, she maintained her kindness, she maintained her happiness.
But she was true to herself.
She was true to herself. Yeah. She was like, she actually she was on the wait list for Wharton. And she chose Brown anyway because of how important work life is for her. Yeah. And Brown offers a much more so than anywhere else in the Ivy League. And so she was like, that was the uni for me. She actually applied to LSE and got rejected. And she was like, even if I got in, like Brown was the university for her. And I'm really happy for her that she ended up getting it. But it just goes to show like the people that actually do prioritize life in general and not just academics. Yeah. Sometimes and most of the time do end up succeeding more because they are happier with their life.
Absolutely. On that note, I want to wish you all the best. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad this journey, took the twists and turns that it did to get you ultimately to the right destination.
And thank you so much. And thanks, of course, to Hale as well. I could not have done it without you guys, honestly. With the guiding hand and everything you guys have provided, I wouldn't even be dreaming of LSE. We really appreciate it. And whenever anyone does ask, I always recommend.
Thank you.
Of course.
Have a great trip and have a great,
Thank you, and
journey
good luck
to
to you as well
with
everything.
Thanks a lot.